Hi everyone, it's Abby here from Buttercross Estates. I hope you're all doing okay. I thought I'd pop on here today just to have a chat with you about what you need as a landlord before you can start the tenancy at your property. So one of the things you're going to need is an EPC, which is an Energy Performance Certificate. Now that lasts you 10 years and you must make sure that that is in place and given to your tenants before the start of a tenancy agreement. Now if it expires while they're in there, or whether that's a fixed term or it's in a permanent tenancy, don't worry about it. You will just need to make sure that it is in date so that you or potentially get a new one if you decide to renew your tenancy agreement. Now it's really important that you do have one in place, because if you don't, you are looking at a fine of up to £5,000 per property that you have. And the other thing to bear in mind is that it's got to be at least an E or above, and if it isn't at least an E or above and you haven't managed to get some sort of exemption notice, you can also be fined £4,000 for that as well. So one of those things that's definitely worth bearing in mind if you're looking at maybe buying an old property. Just double check that that is okay. So up next, you need to make sure that you have a gas safety certificate. Obviously this doesn't matter if you have got oil or if it is an electrically heated property, but if you have got gas, then that must be done every single year without fail and on time. If you don't get that done, then you are looking at potentially an unlimited fine and or potentially 6 months imprisonment. So really important that is done. So just pop a little reminder in your calendar, or if you are with us, you don't have to worry about it. We'll get all that sorted for you each year. So the next thing you've got to make sure you have in place is an EICR. That's an Electrical Installation Condition Report. You might have heard about this a little bit recently, because the law did come into place as of the 1st of April this year that every single property must have one. Now that lasts 5 years, and you must make sure that is in place and given to your tenant within 28 days. So if you have got an existing tenant in, for example, and you've just had that done, do make sure that has been given to them within 28 days of receipt. Any remedial works, there are certain things you have got to do and certain things you haven't, which I won't get into now, but again, you must make sure the legal ones are done and must be given to the tenant within 28 days. If you don't have that done, you are looking at a lovely fine of up to £30,000 a year. So again, really important that you make sure that is done. One of the things that you must give the tenant before the tenancy commences is the How to Rent guide. You can get it off the government website, and it's self-explanatory, is what it says in the name. It just outlines the tenants really what they need to do and what their obligations are throughout the tenancy. It is important to have, because should you need to give them a Section 21 eviction notice, if you haven't served it, you won't be able to serve the notice at that point. So just bear that in mind. The last and final thing that you will need to do, assuming you have taken a deposit, is you will need to make sure you have registered the deposit with one of the government-backed schemes. So that's My Deposits, TDS or DPS. And those have got to be done within 30 days of you getting the deposit from the tenant, and you'll need to make sure that you serve the prescribed information with that as well. Now, if you don't, again, same thing, there's a problem with the How to Rent guide. You won't be able to serve a Section 21 at that point, and should the courts find that this is the case, that you haven't registered it, quite often you will be asked to make sure you then do get it registered within 14 days, but sometimes they can give you a fine as well, and that will be up to 3 times the amount of the deposit, which you must give the tenant within 14 days of the fine. So I hope that's been helpful for you all. If you are a managed landlord with us, don't worry about all those bits and bobs. We have been dealing with that for you as part of our managed service. If you are maybe a landlord that's looking into doing this, or maybe you're a let-only landlord already, I hope you found that useful. But if you have got any questions, or you just like a bit of advice, just give us a call on 01636 343 014, or just drop us a message on Facebook.